Hey everybody, today we're going to be going over THM Python Basics. So this is using the web-based code editor, learn the basics of Python, and put your knowledge into practice by eventually coding a short Bitcoin investment project. Interesting. In this room, we'll get hands-on with learning about scripting programming language, Python. Although programming isn't required to succeed in cybersecurity, it's a great skill to have, as the scripting for penetration tester module demonstrates. Being able to program allows you to create security tools and quick scripts that can aid you in hacking, as well as defending and analyzing. So we'll go ahead and click on the view site. This room will teach you variables, loops, functions, data structures, if statements, files. You'll be using the code editor on the right side to complete exercises and solve challenges in this room. We'll teach you the basics, just enough to get you the knowledge to make your basic scripts. If you want to use your developed environment to code, download Python on the official website, which gives you an IDE, integrated development environment, and code to code it. In programming, syntax is important as described in the structure of a valid programming language. In simple terms, syntax tells the computer how to read code using rules that control the structure of symbols, punctuation, and words of programming languages. Okay, all right, so we'll go ahead and click here. And if we run the green button, it will run our code. So this prints learn security with try hack me, and when we click that, it shows the code here. That's pretty sick. All right, cool. Next, hello world. To begin, let's create a simple program that outputs some text. So print hello world. So I'm just going to change this to hello world. How did I mess that up? I don't know. All right, cool. As you see from the example code block above, it's just one-liner shown in line 2. And when we run this code, it will output the text hello world. Let's break this down. In the example, line 1 is a comment, and line starting with the hashtag symbol and is not run by the computer. A comment is written by the programmer, you, to help other people read the code, understand what's going on. We can control what is outputted to the screen by using the print statement. Anything outside of the parentheses will be outputted. However, because we are printing string, more on data types later in this room, we have to put them inside of quotations. Please note this room's examples are Python 3, so when we run that, I think it gives us a flag. Yep, here's a flag. So then print statements. All right, gonna paste that in there. Easy. Task 3, mathematical operations. Now, let's cover some mathematical operations and how they can be applied to Python, like calculators. There are operations such as adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing using Python. We can code our calculator. After all, programs is just writing rules for the computer to follow given specific inputs and conditions. The table below shows the different operations. So addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus, exponents. Now that we know the basic mathematical operators, let's move to comparison operators. These play a big part in Python, and we will build upon when we look at loops and if statements. These operators are used to evaluate programs' conditions at the particular state. So greater than, less than, equal to, not equal to, greater than or equal to, and less than or equal. And these are the syntaxes. All right, in the code editor, print the results of 21 plus 43. Okay, so we will go print. I think you could just put in the operator, right? It's 21, or let's see how this works. Let's see if it does that. I haven't programmed in Python forever, so I'm with you on this one. I'm like, yeah, let's see if I can get this to run. No, that's just that. So we need to let's see here. We'll print. Let's get a hint. Oh, Oh, right. So we need to get rid of the quotations. All right. So 21 plus 43. All right. And there it is. Right. Because it's not a statement, so we don't need the quotations. Easy. All right. And next it wants us to subtract 142 to minus 52. Go ahead and run that. All right. That's 90. Print the results of 10 times 342. 10 times 342. Okay. And there it is. Multiplication 3,420. Print the results of 5 squared. 5 squared was, what's that? So, 5, 2, and is that going to be it? Yeah, exponent power. Sweet. Okay. That was easy. All right. Go ahead and go on to the next one. Task 4, variables and data types. Variables allow you to store and update data in a computer program. You have a variable name and store data in that name. So food equals ice cream, money equals 2000. In the example above, we have two variables. The variable name food stores the string word ice cream, while another variable called money stores a number 2000. Variables are powerful as you can change them throughout your program. The following example sets the age variable to 30. Then we increase this age variable by 1, making the final variable 31. Feel free to copy and paste this in the editor to run the code and see the output. So we can just grab that, come over here, throw it in there, and run the code. So that's 31. Notice on line 2 the way we update a variable on the left, and we have already created variables named age, followed by the operator. On the right, we have what we're setting the variable to. In our case, the age variable, which is currently set to 30, is being increased by 1. Let's talk about the data types, which is the type of data being stored in a variable. You can store text or numbers and many other types. The data types are known as strings, used for combinations of characters such as letters or symbols, integers, whole numbers, floats, numbers that contain decimal points or fractions, booleans, used for data that is restricted to true or false options, lists, series of different data types stored in a collection. All right, so interesting. In the code editor, create a variable called height and set it to its initial value of 200. So what we can do is do this height and set it to 200. And I don't know if we need to print it, but I guess we could do that. Okay. On a new line, add 50 to the highest variable. On a new line, add 50 to the height variable. Oh, what the heck? Okay, so now we go 50, so we will do new line add 50 to the height. So height plus 50. Actually, I don't know if you need a space in there. So height plus 50. And we'll put total. Then we'll print the total. See if that works. Yep, there it is, 250. Nice, we got both flags. All right, so task 5, logic and Boolean operators. Logical operators allow assignments and comparisons to be made and are used in conditional tests, such as if statements. Logical operators, equivalence, equal, equal, example, if x equal 5, less than is less than sign, if x is less than 5, less than or equal to, less than or equal to, if x is less than or equal to 5, greater than, if x is greater than 5, greater than or equal to, x is greater than or equal to 5. Boolean operators are used to connect and compare relationships between statements, like an if statements. Conditions can be true or false. Boolean operations, both conditions must be true for the statement to be true. And so if x is greater than or equal to 5 and x is less than or equal to 100, return true if x is a number between 5 and 100. Only one condition of the statement needs to be true, or so if x is equal 1 or x is equal to 10, return true. So if x is 1 or 10. Oh, interesting. But if a condition is the opposite of an argument, so not, so if not y returns true, if the value y is false. Let's look at a few Python examples. So a equals 1 if a equals 1 or a is less than 10, print a is either 1 or above 10. Name equals Bob, hungry equals true. If name equal Bob and hungry equal true, print Bob is hungry. Else if name equals Bob and not hungry, print Bob is not hungry. Else if all other if conditions are not met, print not sure who this is for is or if they are hungry. Okay, well, that's me. I'm definitely hungry all the time. Just got a burger at Chili's. It's pretty good. All right, Bob is hungry. Boop. All right, now we go on to 6, shipping project. Introduction to if statements. So using if statements allows programs to make decisions. They let a program make a decision based on a condition. Below is an example of how an if statement can be used to determine the section of code, which print statements to use. If age is less than 17, print you are not old enough to drive. Else, print you are old enough to drive. In the example below, if you are younger than 17, the program will output the text you are not old enough to drive. However, if you are over 17, the program will output you are old enough to drive. Depending on a condition in this example is the age variable. The program will run different sections. There are some key components we note from our code example above. The if keyword indicates the beginning of an if statement, followed by a set of conditions. The if statement is only run if the condition or set of conditions is true. In our example, its age is less than 17. If that condition is true, age is below 17. The code within the if statement runs if the conditions are not met. The program will default to running the code shown in the else part of the if statement. A colon marks the end of the if statement. Note the indentation. Anything after the colon that is indented is considered part of the if statement, which the program will execute. So start, if the driver is younger than 17, yes, you are not old enough to drive, stop. No, you are old enough to drive, stop. The if statements are essential in a program and will be something you use a lot. In the exercise, we will code a small application that calculates the output, the shipping cost for a customer based on how much they've spent. In the code editor, click the shipping.py tab, follow the instructions to complete this task. So shipping.py tab here. In this project, you will create a program that calculates the total cost of the customer's shipping basket, including shipping. Shopping basket. If a customer spends over 100, they get free shipping. If the customer spends less than 100, the shipping cost will be 120 per kg of the basket weight. What is kg? I don't know. Kilogram maybe. Print the customer's total basket costs, including shipping to complete this exercise. All right, so customer's basket equals 34. So it's less than 100, so they're going to have to pay up. Customer's basket weight is 44, so they're definitely going to have to pay up a lot. Right? If statements here is to calculate the total cost. Okay. So once you've written the application code editor, flag will appear, which will do that. Give the flag. So I'm gonna click on hint. Need a hint on the code editor to the left of the run button. There will be a hint button to get you started. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need that. All right, here we go. Here's the hint button. So, so, oh, this is my hint. It's pretty much the code. I'll take it. So if the customer's basket is less than or equal to X, print free shipping. So in this case, X is going to be 100, I guess, right? Why does it say X? I don't know. Free shipping. Else shipping cost equals customer's weighted basket weight per shipping cost per kg, 44 times 1.20. The customer's basket cost is X. So customer's basket cost is the shipping cost, right? Or no, the customer's basket cost is X. Well, in this case, it's a customer's basket cost. Is it shipping cost? Its basket cost is 34. So 34? I mean, yeah. I'm just gonna put that in there to see if it works. The total basket cost, including shipping, is basket cost, customer's basket cost, 34. But isn't it the customer's basket cost times shipping kg? Yeah, okay, so that should be it, I guess. It's 34. No, that's not it. So it's not 100. So customer's basket weight is 44 times 1.20. And that gives us our shipping cost. So customer's basket weight, which is, or the basket cost. Let me look at this one a little closer. I thought this was a little redundant. So, um, the second part here, the customer basket cost is the shipping cost if it's under 100 plus the basket cost. So we put basket cost in there twice. So, but right, we get the shipping plus basket is the total basket cost, which I thought should be what this variable is, but whatever, we'll just leave it the way it is. So then the total basket cost, including shipping, in this case, because it's less than 100, is going to be that. So anyways, I got the flag. There it is. And oh, that made sense. Okay. In shipping PY on line 15, so this 15 here. Um, the variable, change the variable to 101 and rerun the code. You'll get a flag if the total cost is correct based on your code. Okay, so free shipping. I wonder if that works. So total miscode. Oh, right, because it's free shipping. Okay. All right. Hire me, Amazon. Look at this. I'm ready. Ready to make the application. Get a 2-day shipping. Cool. All right. So, whoa, am I done? No, I just yeah. Loops. The programming loop allows programs to iterate and perform actions a number of times. There are two types of loops, for and while loops. While loops, let's begin by looking at how we structure a while loop. We can have the loop run indefinitely, or similar to an if statement, determine how many times the loop should run based on a condition. So I equals 1, while I is less than or equal to 10, print I equals I plus 1. So it looks like it's incrementing it until it equals 10. This loop will run 10 times, outputting a value of the variable each time it iterates loops. Let's break this down. The I variable is set to 1. The while statement specifies where the start of the loop should begin. Every time it loops, it will start at the top, outputting the value of the I. Then it will go on to the next line in the loop, which increases the value of I by 1. Then, as there is no more code for programs to execute, it goes to the top of the loop, starting the process over again. The program will keep on looping until the value of the variable I is greater than 10. For loops. A for loop is used to iterate over a sequence such as a list. Lists are used to store multiple items in a single variable and are created using square brackets. See below. Let's learn through the following example. Websites: Facebook, Google, Amazon.com. For sites and website, print. This is a loop shown in the code block above. It will run 3 times and output each website in the list. Let's break this down. The list variable calls website is storing 3 elements. The loop iterates through each element, printing out the elements. The program stops looping when it's been through each element in the loop. To give a real-world scenario, you could create a program that checks if a website is online or if an item is in stock. You would loop through the website list, add functionality inside the loop to check the website, and output the results. The Python for Pen Tester Room shows you how to use Python to enumerate a target, build a keylogger, scan a network, and more. In Python, we can also iterate through a range of numbers using the range function. Below are some examples, Python codes that will print the numbers from 0 to 4. In the program, 0 is often the starting number, so counting to 5 is 0 to 4, but has 5 numbers, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So for I in range 5, print I. On the code editor, click back on script.py tab and code a loop that outputs every number from 0 to 50. Okay, so to print every number from 0 to 50, we would use something like this. Except in this case, we would put 51, I think. Because it starts off at, well, no, actually, because I starts off at, I wonder if it includes 0. Oh, 0, yep, so it does. So then I would be 0, 0 to 50. Yep, there it is. Look at that, I haven't even used ChatGPT yet. All right. Program starts to get bigger and more complex. Some of your code will be repetitive, writing the same code to do some calculus. Same calculations, and this is where functions come in. A function is a block of code that can be called at different places in your program. You could have a function to work out a calculation, such as the distance between 2 points on the map, or output formatted text based on a certain condition. Having function removes the repetitive code, as the function's purpose can be used multiple times throughout the code. Def say name, print hello plus name, nice to meet you. Say hello Ben, output is hello Ben, nice to meet you. Here are some key components we can note for this function. The def keyword indicates the beginning of a function. The keyword is followed by a name that the programmer defines and we use to call the function. In our example, it's say hello. Following the function's name is a pair of parentheses that hold input values, data that we can pass into the function. In our example, it's a variable called name. A colon marks the end of the function header. In the function, notice the indentation similar to the if statement. Anything after the colon that is indented is considered part of the function. A function can also return results. See the code block below. So def is the keyword of the function. Okay. Say hello. Parentheses holds the value. Okay. In the function, notice the indentation similar to the if statements. Anything after the colon that is indented. Okay. So def cost item if item equal to sweet, return 3.99, else equals oranges, return 1.99, else return 0.99. Spend 10, spend equals plus cal cost sweets. You have spent blank on. Okay. If we call the cal cost function pass in sweets as the item parameter, the function will return a decimal number float. In the above code, we take the variable called spend and add the cost of sweets to the calccost function. When we call calccost, it will return the number 3.99. This number will be added to spent variable, returning a total of 13.99. Okay. Yep, makes sense. Okay, so what we're doing here is this is our function. It's called calccost. And so here I'm calling calccost and I'm passing sweets. So according to this, sweets is $3.99. So because of that, it should return we spent $3.99 as it goes through this. We've invested in Bitcoin and want to write a program that tells you when the value of Bitcoin falls between a particular value. In dollars in the code editor, click the Bitcoin tab, write a function called Bitcoin to USD. So click here. Parameters, Bitcoin amount, the amount of Bitcoin you own, the Bitcoin value USD, the value of the Bitcoin in USD. The function should return USD value, which is your Bitcoin value in USD. To calculate this in a function, you times Bitcoin amount variable by Bitcoin value, USD variable, and return the value. The start of the function should look like this: def Bitcoin USD, Bitcoin amount, Bitcoin value USD. Okay. Once you've written the Bitcoin USD function, use it to calculate the value of your Bitcoin USD, and then create an if statement to determine if the value falls below 30,000. If it does, output a message to alert you. I don't know if it'll ever do that. That's crazy. Below 30,000. Bitcoin is now worth 24,000 in code. On line 14, update the Bitcoin to 24,000 to see if your program recognizes that your investment is below a $30,000 threshold. Okay. I understand. I think it's going to tell me. Make sure your Python function has the same name as the Bitcoin to USD and user parameters, names, Bitcoin amounts, and Bitcoin value USD. Oh, okay. Sure. I'm gonna click it again. Yeah, that's what I meant to do. Okay. Invest. Right function is calculate Bitcoin, so def Bitcoin USD, okay. And USD value, return. All right, so uh, let me try to decompose this real quick. All right, using the parameters that they've set here for the conditions, we get the code that's needed. So invest in Bitcoin, Bitcoin USD is 40,000. And then we're defining that Bitcoin USD, Bitcoin amount, Bitcoin value USD. USD value is equal to the Bitcoin amount times the USD value. And then return USD value. Use the function to calculate your total value in USD. So investment in USD is equal to the Bitcoin to USD, and the investment in the Bitcoin and the Bitcoin to USD, and then check if the value falls below 30,000. If the investment is below or less than 30,000, print investment below 30,000, sell, else print investment above, and then this is the flag that we get. Bitcoin is now worth 24,000 in the code editor on line 14. Update the Bitcoin to USD value to 24,000 and see if the Python program recognizes that your investment is below the $30,000 threshold. So then we would change this to 24,000. And it's detects it. Complete. All right, cool. We'll move on to the next one. All right, so files. In Python, you can read and write from files. We've seen in cybersecurity, it's common to write a script and import or export it from a file, whether that be as a way to store the output of your script or to import a list of hundreds of websites from a file to enumerate. Let's dive straight into the example. So F equals file, open file name, R, print the file, and then we're going to read it. To open the file, we use the built-in open function, and the R parameter stands for read, and is used as we are reading the content of the file. The variable has a read method for the reading contents of the file. You can also use the read lines method and loop over each line in the file, useful if you have a list where each item is a new item. In the example above, the file is the same folder as the Python script. If it were elsewhere, you would need to specify the full path of the file. You can also create and write files. If you're writing an existing file, you open the file first and use the A in the open file after the file name calls, which stands for append. If you're writing to a new file, use W to write instead of A. See the example below. So here we're opening it. File demo file 1.txt, A to append to an existing file, F.write, the file will include more text, F.close, and then open demo file 2.txt, write, create, and write to the new file. F.write demo to file create. This will add new content in, and F.close. So notice that we are using the close method after writing to a file. This closes the file, so no more writing to the file within the program can occur. In the coder, write Python code to read the flag.txt file. What is the flag in that file? Okay, so I'm guessing that's this one right here. So that's a flag.txt file. We've got to go here to the script. And we want to read that file. So we're going to be using basically this here. We'll just go ahead and copy it in here. And the file name in this instance is flag.txt. So we'll copy that, paste it over this, and it should give us the contents of the file. Too easy. All right, imports. In Python, we can import libraries, which are a collection of files that contain functions. Think of importing a library as importing functions. You can use that and have been already written for you. For example, there is a date library that gives you access to hundreds of different functions for anything date and time related. So import date time, current time equals date time now, print current time. We import other libraries using the import keyword. Then in Python, we use the import library name to reference its functions. In the example above, we import datetime, then access the .now method by calling the library name method name, copy and paste the example above in the code editor. So we just do that, run it, and here it gives us here are some popular libraries you can find useful in scripting as a pen tester. Oh, we used to import keywords. So we're importing a library, request simple HTTP library, uh, Scapy, send, sniff, dissect, and forge network packets. Pwn tools, ACTF, exploit development library. Many of these libraries are already built in the program language. However, libraries written by other programmers are not already installed in your machine and can be installed using the application called pip, which is Python's package manager. Let's say you want to install Scapy library, which allows you to craft your own packets in code. You can send them to other machines. You install it first by running the command pip install Scapy, after which the program will now import the Scapy library. All right, cool, easy. So we click correct and we finished it. Congratulations, everybody, you did it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Many more to come. We're going to go through many more. All right, Danny out.